Hi, I'm and this is 14-0 golf. Where to start? I set this page up a good year or so ago, maybe longer, and with an aim of showing my evolution from 14 handicap to scratch. I'm currently a 2 handicap after restarting golf again September 2018. It seems impressive, but I was a +1 handicap golfer 9 years prior to that, and I thought I'd get there quicker, but I haven't. So, well, setting this up a year ago, I was nervous to show where I was, embarrassed. There's nothing embarrassing in it, but I was embarrassed, and I was still embarrassed recently, but lockdowns forced me into deciding now's as good a time as any. So my aim for this year is to get more consistent, because last year I had a low round of 6 under, another 3 under, 1 under and level par, but I also had 17 over, 18 over and a 21 over in the season, so you can see where I'm at with this. But I quit playing golf 9 years prior to the September that I said, because I had the yips, and I have sorted that out with arm lock putting, which I'll get into on another day. And I probably could be a lower handicap. I've rebuilt my swing, which was consistent with irons, but I needed to be better with a driver, and I just wanted to improve. And I've also changed to playing 1 length irons, which I'll get into at a later date as well. So enjoy the rest of this video, and I'm sure I'll get more charismatic by the end of it. But I'll talk you through my swing now. Swing now. My swing as of the start of lockdown. A swing recently, basically, and I've got plenty. I've got 40 odd swings through the last year. In the next episode, I'm going to show my driver swing evolution from when I first started to now. It's unrecognisable, to be honest. I see my swing evolution got me into just thinking, let's look at the classical swings before, because I was struggling with my back, and I've just looked at Sam Snead, people like that, and you'll probably be able to see that evolution by the end of this, so enjoy. So here is my swing from down the line just a couple of days ago, and face on for the same day. This is an unsteady video from 2 or 3 days before. Here I've put some lines on so you can get the general gist of where I'm going with this. So on this photo I've drawn the lines
red will always be the backswing, and the circle always represents where the hands are at that point. So on this one, you can see I've come back just inside, and I don't know where this has come from, but you can see the over the top move coming inside the ball. I'm not going to be consistent from there. Here's a photo from between a day between them two, and you can see that now I've managed to shallow the club, the blue line, and well, that's come completely on plane. This is after a day of drills of trying to sort this out. Quite happy with this one. This photo is from the newest swing, and I'm happy with this. You can see how the red line is just inside the ball. That's exactly where I want it to be, and the blue line just outside. I am really happy with this. You'll notice the green circle around my foot. I'll come to that in a minute. But this is exactly where I want to be. And here today, I've gone out to check on it because I'm kind of keeping tabs on it every day. And the red line's come up. Not 100% where I want to be. There are probably more swings today that have gone right. I try and come outside a bit. But the blue line exactly where I want to be. I'm really happy with how everything's coming on. So now to explain how I got to this, how did I fix it? Here you can see the comparison. To see how I've fixed this swing, let's go back probably a couple of months. I was very happy with this swing. And you can see I'm working on a drill where I exit left, which may have created the problems recently. I still want to get back to that drill, but I've got to eradicate this first drill. So let me put some lines on it. Right, this represents the hip depth, and then we've got my left knee, and I've put a green circle around my foot. Doesn't seem important when we're talking about playing. People will probably think I'm gonna use my arms and do whatever. So let's get into the full swing of it, and you'll be able to see where I'm at. Now, if we take it back halfway, you can see the hips are starting to open. Probably come slightly upright with the swing, which I'll be liking this takeaway very much. And then now to the top of the backswing, hips are fully open, and I like that backswing too. Actually, a little bit shorter. I want to get back to that. But you'll see the left foot completely planted to the ground, and right knee still bent, similar to when it started. All modern swing type theories there. So let's go to the swing from. Actually, let's go to the video that I wanted to change. So I've put arrows on my knee, lines on my knee, sorry, and a circle on my feet. And then as we take it back, you'll see my right leg is straightened, and my heel is still planted on the floor. I'm trying to get a bit more rotation in the hips at this point, and you can see fresh air on that arrow between my legs. This comparison shows the difference between the two swings. You can clearly see that on the left there's a lot of daylight between the two legs, a lot more movement, and the leg has straightened significantly compared to the bent one. So how do we fix this? Well, coming to the swing now, what I've done is put a green line down my bum, green line left knee, and a green circle on my left foot. What I'm going to be aiming to do here is I want to straighten the right knee quite a bit, and I'm going to really create a load of hip depth. How I'm going to do this is lifting my left foot. You can see here, halfway back, bum depth's not changed, but the left knee is coming out a lot and already creating fresh air where the arrow's pointing. And if you can just see, my left heel is starting to come off the floor. So this is exactly where I want to be. And if you look at that club, how upright that is and the width that I've created there, that's exactly what I want. That's where most of my power comes from. So if we take it back to the full swing, there we go. I'm loving where the hands are. Hip depth, bum stayed exactly the same line, but look at that left knee. It's really out and there's a lot of fresh air. And I've straightened the right knee, but the right knee still bent, so I'm liking that. And if you can just see, my left heel is definitely off the floor. This is a very nice looking backswing for me. So if I take you to the downswing, actually, technically, that's the top of the backswing. But if I take you back one teeny bit, look at that left heel. Complete the backswing and it's on its way down just at the beginning of it. But if we come a little further, you can see it coming down. Left heel stamping down. And it continues to come down, pulling my swing. I'm not using my arms here. I'm actually using my hips, which I think was something that I was doing wrong before. So I was getting a bit armsy and pulling my arms round. And as you can see here, I'm rotating my hips, which is actually pulling my swing. And that alone has flattened my swing. I haven't needed to do anything else. I haven't needed to manipulate my hands. There's different ways of doing this. You've got some pros who do it different. I'll show you here. So here I've drew some lines on Justin Thomas. You'll see I've literally just done the lines here. Basically the red line, he's come back upright, and the circle represents his hands, and the blue line is his downswing, whereas you can see it comes straight back through the circle where his hands were. And if we go on to Brooks Koepka, an old picture of him, he comes back up on the red line, upright hands, and you see the circle is where his hands come on the backswing. But on the downswing, as you can see, he's flattened the swing, well, flattened the club out a lot. But his hands are actually outside of the circle. And he's done this by the cupped left wrist that he has. So he's used the wrist to flatten his club. And then we have Graham McDowell here. And this is exactly the same. I wasn't even aware that he did this till I started looking through some swings. But you can see how far his hands are outside the hands on the way back, on the way down now. And so they've manipulated their bowed left wrist just to get this club shallowed, which all good players shallow their clubs. I mean, it's hard to find examples of people who don't. So if we come back to me now, here I've drawn some lines. Again, circle where my hands are coming through. Nice upright red line. I'm happy with that. And then we come into the next downswing movement, and you can see I've shallowed the club. But what I like to see here is that my hands are about to pass through the circle. If you see now, they pass through the circle. So my arms and everything are swinging, just moved by the hips, and my hands aren't moving either, but my club is shallowing, and that is purely down to that movement of the left heel dropping. So it's worked well. So if you're struggling with coming over the top, I think that lifting the left heel in the backswing, practicing lifting the left heel and then stamping it for that transition move can definitely help you bring your arms back, and playing literally stops casting. It's a move that I like a lot. I tend to like drills, because the more you get the drills into your body, you can then go out on the course and have little or no swing forwards. 'Cause I like to have possibly one, sometimes I'll have a swing forward of keep your hands loose all the way through the swing, which I do struggle with a little when I'm changing my swing, because you get a little tighten the grip. I'm ruining gloves right now, but once again, if you're struggling with a slice or consistency in ball striking, or you're very armsy, honestly, have a good think about whether you want to try this drill of lifting the left heel, stamping it down, because as you can see on my swing, it's made a huge difference. There's many other things. There's a couple of things I might be changing. The flying elbow, but basically what I'm trying to do is unteach all these things I got taught. Tiger does this, Tiger does that. He's amazing, but he's so much better than I am. That there's other players to look at that suit my body type, and also I'm getting a little bit older. I'm not old by any stretch of the imagination, but if you are getting a bit older and you're losing a bit of flexibility, I cannot see a reason not to lift that left heel. I honestly cannot see any reason why you wouldn't lift the left heel and stamp it back down. And pride is not one of them. There's a lot of things. This is what's caused me issues. It's the old days, having a driver that was 7 degrees and blah blah blah. Nowadays, I set my driver to 10.5. I actually have a shaft in my driver that is somewhere between stiff and extra stiff, and yeah, give it a go.